Food shortage update, September 2023. More recalls. Let's discuss. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe down below. We do these videos pretty much every day to try and help keep you in the know of things going on. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Dano. Today, we are drinking the Joffrey's coffee here in Orlando, Florida. It is absolutely delicious. One of my favorite coffees. The best blend of it, in my opinion, is the Mexican blend. Not too strong, but strong enough. If you have to hit pause now to get your coffee together, go ahead and do that now, as this will be a lengthy discussion. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We do these videos every day to try and help keep you in the know and all these different events going on. The first one I want to talk about is some of the recalls. We have another baby formula recall that was actually, they say, an accident of it being shipped out after it was already recalled a while back. Okay, so I don't really know anymore with some of these things. Like, you made a mistake once, and now you're remaking the same mistake. Okay, so me personally, I think there's a little more to that. Okay, but a lot of it was the parent choice sensitivity. And you can Google these recalls. Google the recalls, look at the numbers, look at the different... they didn't have dates. They had the specific item number, so you have to look for that. But guys, I'll tell you what, it's getting real. I keep getting all these different comments and emails, people sending me pictures of their stores where they're like out of bread. Okay, now, from what I've put together, it seems like a lot of the states that are being affected with this are southern states now. We're seeing Arizona, Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, even here in Florida, we're noticing a lot of, I noticed a spaghetti shortage. We're going to be visiting Publix here. I'm actually heading to Publix here in a little while to go check out some of the items at Publix. I know a lot of people a lot of Floridians were wanting me to check that out. I am doing that later today, so make sure you're subscribed. Hit that bell notification so you get all of our uploads. And that video will be out here probably tomorrow. So hopefully things look good at Publix. I know Publix is traditionally really expensive, but we'll see what kind of deals we can find. And I definitely will be on the lookout for any kind of shortages that they may have, because stores that traditionally charge a lot of money for products, if they're low on products, you better believe it's going to be low in a lot of other places too. So I hope to get to a Winn-Dixie at some point. I know Aldi just bought out Winn-Dixie. I'd like to see how that is. But anyway, some of these food shortages have been some of the usual: bread, pasta, a lot of wheats and grain products. Rice is becoming a huge one, even in some of our northern states like Wisconsin. Michigan keeps chiming in of different rice runs. Texas is getting hit a lot. California is probably the most of where we have seen a lot of rice shortages and stuff like that. And prices are starting to go up. We said this was going to happen. And you know, the thing is as to where, you know, ever since the rice ban in India, I know a lot of people were saying that we don't use a lot of that kind of rice. Well, there are people who live here that do. And if they can't get the kind of rice that they're getting from India or wherever, because this puts a lot of pressure on other countries like Singapore, Vietnam, you know, other rice producing countries. And I know the U.S. does too, but and people argue that most rice in America is basmati rice. That seems to be the number one seller. That is going to be the one that continues to go out the door, though. Anyone that is the most popular here, once people can't get the other brands that they like, they're going to seek out other options. Therefore, those will start to go away, supply and demand will take effect, and that will raise the prices. Now, we are down here in Florida. When I get back to Cincinnati, I will be checking out all the stores again to see what's going on. We have, let me adjust the camera here. We have expected that prices are going to start to skyrocket on a lot of things. Now, when these things like wheats and grains and rice especially, once these start going up in price, we're going to see a lot of different products going up in price that use these products in their products to make different soups, different things like that. We're going to see these. That's why we're always talking about being prepared, guys, because if we're not, we're going to be paying even more high prices of tomorrow than we are today. So it's important that we are stocking up on some of the things that we love, because, guys, I'm telling you, this fall, it's going to get serious. Somebody left a comment the other day. They said that we probably won't see any more sales till Thanksgiving. I don't even know if we will. This is why we always talk about buying up the sales as we see them in the stores, because we don't know. We don't know what things are going to be like a couple months from now. So some people are saying, don't wait. Get your Thanksgiving stuff now and freeze it if you can. Turkey, well, turkey will, I hope, get cheaper. Well, we noticed last year that turkeys didn't go on sale until the last week before Thanksgiving. I mean, there were sales, but we didn't see any of the really good ones like 79 cents per pound or 99 cents per pound, which those were far and few between. And surprisingly, the cheapest turkey that we found last year was at Target, right? They had the 79 cents per pound day, right? And that was the week before Thanksgiving. So, and there were some sales coming up. But anyway, wanted to talk about some of these food shortages that people are talking about in their different states. Thank you to everyone on the channel who has been abbreviating your comment with your city and state so that all of our viewers can see what is going on where they live. It's very important so that way at least we have a little bit of a heads up of what's going on, right? Because we have, so many different things happening at once. I feel like this is almost like it was 2 years ago. We're going to start seeing some empty shelves. I'm hearing it from some of my friends and buddies back home. Kroger brand products are starting to not come in. I've been hearing from friends and family back home who have been in constant communication with me here. My Danomites, as some people call them, they're telling me that a lot of Kroger brand products, we're seeing a lot of inconvenience stickers. Now, I've been saying this for months. Watch the fall, because the harder it is for ingredients to come in, the harder it is for store brand products. Basically, it's harder for them to come in. And why is that? Because you have places like Kroger and places that have their own plants that do so many different things that if the price is too much, it's almost worth it for them to just not try to pay too much for that product. Now, one of my family members had mentioned that Kroger canned goods look like they were very low. Now, that's kind of hard to really talk about because unless it's consistent, if it's consistent, then it's an issue. If it's just a week, well, that could be maybe Del Monte went up in price. I don't know what they are right now. I think when I left, we started to see them go up to $1.59 a can, which it's been $1.50 a can for a while. That's going to cause even the sale prices that we see on these things to probably never be the prices we've seen in the past, even just the recent past. So again, I know I sound like a broken record here. It's time to stock up, guys. It's time to get prepped. It's time to get ready for winter. It's September 12th. September 12th today. Also, I forgot to mention in the video that me and Jessica did yesterday was September 11th. We had actually talked about September 11th, had some remembrance of areas where we were and stuff of that day, and all of our thoughts and prayers were with everyone and all the families that were affected by September 11th and all of America, really. It was a devastating blow to our country, and all of our thoughts and prayers are with everyone that was involved with that day and beyond. And I didn't mention that in yesterday's video, and it was kind of strange doing a patriotic video, and I guess I just, we were moving around, didn't get a chance to say my tribute and honor and prayers to everyone for September 11th. So I wanted to say that here today. But guys, let's not falter. Let's not slip up. It can be real easy. Stores trick people all the time. Let them not trick you into falling for different things, thinking that you have to pay a higher price for things. Make sure you're taking advantage of all the different sales and deals out there. I did want to touch a little bit on some different food shortages that some people were talking about. One of them is macaroni and cheese. And I know this is one, obviously we don't need macaroni and cheese to survive on, but we have a lot, we cover everything on this channel. We do. Some people can't cook. Some people can't make their own meals. They rely on microwave meals. As to where we don't, doesn't mean that other people, can't, that they need them, and it's, if you're looking for these type of meals, always look for the sales, buy up the sales, because they are going to be the ones that are going to be we've already seen them skyrocket in price, but they're going to keep going up. Like I said, with ingredients that are going away, may not see it right now, but here in a month or two, it's probably going to be flooding in. And don't worry, I will be covering everything, especially when we get back. I'm trying to cover what I can down here while we are down here in Florida. We've been spending time with family and friends and stuff, just trying to break away from just not forgetting anything, but trying to just relax and take a little bit of a break. It's hard to do. I do this every day, and it's hard to get away from it because I love providing as much useful information to you guys as I can. So I will go on to talk about Texas here for a minute. We have a lot of viewers in Texas. Meat prices have gotten so insane in Texas. It's just, the other day we were talking about different like steaks, ribeyes and stuff, and we were showing them like $15.99 a pound. Right? People in Texas, some places in Texas, I know we have one viewer in Dallas who mentioned this, it was like $21.99 a pound for ribeye, comparing to what I was talking about. I'm like, my goodness, like, who's paying those prices? Who's buying that? That's crazy. And I know you weren't who was saying that. I mean, nobody should. That's crazy. And I know, and if you are, then buy it from your local mom and pop shop, and not these major, huge grocery stores that are just, because obviously the quality is going to be better at some of your local butcher shops. We even had some people that were talking about buying up whole cows or half a cow and then freezing the different parts and steaks and everything like that. I think that's a very smart idea. If you have friends or family that would want to go in on something like that with you, that's going to be the better deal. You're going to be the guaranteed freshest quality possible. That may be where we have to go. Start looking at some of these things. Start talking to farmers. Farmers are hurting right now. I mean, they really are. Because all these ingredients and grains and all this stuff, it's all a trickle effect, guys. What affects one person, what affects the farmer, it's going to affect the store, going to affect the trucks, going to affect us. Right? It's going to affect, it's all a domino effect. So when people say that this ain't going to, we get a lot of naysayers on the channel, and that's okay. That's okay. You might be a new viewer. Once your eyes are open to what is really going on here, then you're going to see these things start to, I don't want to say fall, because I continue to be optimistic in that things may get better, or at least level off at some point. There are a lot of things involved with all this. Everybody always talks about employee shortages or people don't want to work. Well, we've talked about this. Thousands of people with now hiring signs that really aren't hiring. So another thing, I'm going to look at Publix today, see if they have a good... Publix is a good place. Publix is a good store. Everyone I've ever been to, there's always been a good amount of employees. They've all been very friendly. I plan on talking to some employees today at Publix, just see how things are going there, talk about some of the prices, what are people complaining about the most, not of their store, but what's going on, because this isn't one store's problem. This is a nation's problem. Okay, so we need to pay attention to all these things, because all of them are going to affect the way we live our lives and how we are able to save and get by. There's people that can't put food on their table right now, guys. I mean, it is getting real. I get so many heartfelt stories and emails from people that I feel so bad for some people, and it's just, It's why we visit all these other stores too. I understand that people live day to day. People live day to day, week to week. It's hard to get by. It really is. You really have to save. You have to save what you can with every little bit extra that you have. It'd be good to invest in extra things for the upcoming months, because I'm telling you, as a YouTuber, as a messenger, as a friend, guys, I really honestly feel like it's going to start to get even worse. And I would not, if I didn't have the community that we have on here right now on our channel, I would probably be blind to all of this. Not what's going on in our immediate area, but what's going on where you live, right? Because it's hard to understand different ways of living and different prices and how other people's, or how we're able to save, if we don't understand the whole world of everything. I don't want to just keep saying the U.S. here, because this affects the entire world. We have viewers from all around the world here, from the U.K., from Australia to France to Germany, everywhere, Scotland, Ireland. We are covering everywhere, guys, and it is happening everywhere. Since I've been down in here in Florida, I've been talking with a lot of people from outside the country, and there's one thing that we have in common. Inflation seems to be crippling the world right now, especially in food prices. And people say that it doesn't affect food prices. I disagree. Because where things are going up in many different areas, sorry if it's a little dark here, I'm having to do this in my car. If things are affecting one area, like I said, it's going to affect everybody. With rice demands, with wheat and grain demands, it's going to do like it's always done with supply and demand. It's going to raise prices. It's going to make it maybe not completely unaffordable, but we're going to have to get creative. This is what we were talking about. I hoped that I would never have to talk about this again. But we have to get creative in different things we do. And it's smart to do that anyway, because you're ultimately saving. If you can cut portions and make things differently, if you're cooking at home, maybe not have don't overcook things. We used to have the tendency to make a whole pot of rice with different red beans and rice or something. That's one of my favorites. But, to make a ton. And then we'll put it away and we'll have leftovers. And that's maybe not a good example, because I usually eat all that. But you want to make sure that you're not overcooking things that you're not going to eat and throw away. I'm sure we can all say that with a lot of different leftovers, you're going to end up pitching a lot of it. So what we've tried to do is that whenever we try to cut down, not make as much spaghetti, make enough to where we know we're going to eat it all, or if not, we can always just make a little more spaghetti to add with our different sauce. It's just an example of being, a little bit, not creative, but conservative, right? Making sure that you have enough for later, to spread it out. I don't know, with like I said, with all the emails I've been getting on some of these shortages, people keep sending me photographs, and this is what really hits the heart, because what you see, it's when you see it, it's like, it's something else. It's one thing for somebody to say something, but that's why I do what I do. I don't just tell you that there are rising prices. I don't just tell you that there are food shortages. I go into the stores and show you the gaping holes, or the products that are missing, or the products that have just gone way up in price. I'm a firm believer in, it's like, I'm an honest person. That doesn't mean everybody is. But at the same time, it's like, I believe in showing you what's going on and not just telling you. Because I could say anything. When you're seeing the product or not seeing the product for yourself, seeing is believing. And a lot of people, I feel, I feel more and more people are catching on and knowing about it and understanding about it. But I can't stress enough, guys, we have to prep. We have to make sure that we have, enough to get by. If you can get enough to get by, even for just a couple weeks, and then a couple weeks and a couple weeks, After a while, you'll have a good stockpile of things. Buy up the sales as you see them. I know I'm kind of just rambling on here. Let's take a pause here. Oh, that coffee's good. Sorry if it's a little noisy. I got the air on. It's 100,000 degrees here in Florida. And I'll tell you what, though, it's been fairly nice. The humidity was bad yesterday, but it doesn't seem as bad today. Still hot for us. But guys, keep stocking up on things that you know you're going to eat in the future. Don't stock up on things that you're never going to eat. That's the best advice somebody gave me on the channel here. It's like, don't stock up on things that you're not going to use. Because if you don't use it, then it's a waste of money. But I'll tell you what, and I know, so the Hillshire sausages that we talked about the other day, apparently that was a lot bigger than they made out on that recall. There's all kinds of stuff that have contaminated that product. There's a lot of recalls with, I guess, plastic, rocks, different things. I keep hearing the rocks. Now, people were saying that can be a common thing that happens. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't want rocks in my food. If that's happening, then yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the company should be a little more cautious of that. And maybe they are. I don't know the process. I don't know how a lot of it works. Maybe I should research that, but I know we were dealing with some of that stuff at Trader Joe's not that long ago, but I'm sure they have fixed their issues because I trust Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's. But these things happen. As far as the baby formula goes, though, to have a baby formula that was recalled before and then have a shipment that was recalled, sent back out, guys, I don't know. Just saying that makes me feel weird. I mean, we've had so many recalls on different things, and these plant fires that are going around, I haven't looked up any information about this. I think it was the ADM. Google, was it some part of the company? I'm not really sure. Somebody left me a comment about that. I'm going to have to look it up and see what happened. We may have to do another coffee rant on that. It sounded pretty big, but I'll have to look that up. But guys, I'm off to Publix. We're going to check out some of their prices, see what's going on there. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Again, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe down below and to be part of our community here, and hit that bell notification, because that way you're always informed of any upload that we ever do. Guys, I've said it once, and I always hate saying this, but I don't want to say we're in trouble, okay, but we are edging closer and closer to that dreadful word of recession. And I know that is something that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but it is something we have to be aware of, because we keep going further and further down this. It's harder and harder for people to afford anything, with different things that are in different foods. It's everything, like I said, everything has a trickle effect, domino effect. We just have to pay attention to some of these things that consistently go up in price. When I get back to Cincinnati, I'm almost scared to see what some of the prices are now. I mean, I know last year when we came to Florida, I came back and it was like, whoa, wish I had a notebook or something of everything that had just blown up in the stores in price. It's just insane. And from what I'm hearing from you guys, it sounds like it's happening again, and I have to assume that it's going to get worse. If I assume that it's going to get worse, then I am prepared to make it an easier situation for tomorrow. Guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. Stay safe, be prepped, have a great week.